So, I'm going to be making a new style of copper chain that I never really made before. And it will end up looking somewhat like this. So, the first step is to make a copper coil like this. I went to Menards and found this pretty cool long rod. It's like steel. And what you do is you get you some copper wire. I'm using a thick gauge so that it can be a nice thick chain that's durable. And I just wrap it around this steel rod. It's actually very long, so it's a little uncomfortable. Ideally, you would like to find a smaller rod that's about this length. But mine is quite long, so I just have to deal with it. So I begin to wrap it around this rod just to get like a good little start. And then I'm gonna put it in my Ryobi power drill. Which I have to open it up all the way. It's kind of hard to deal with it. And my cat is playing with my tools like it's a game. Okay, I think I've gotten it nice and secured. Once I secure that, I just power it up. Oh, shoot. And now that I've got a little more leverage, I'm gonna stick it even further back into this gun to make this rod more firm and not waddling all around. Okay, so here I have 2 of these copper coils. If you have a jeweler's saw, you could heat this up to like anneal it, make it easier, more malleable, and I'll show you what the jeweler's saw looks like. I don't use it. I really should probably use it because it would save me a lot of time. I actually should try that, but since I'm on live, I may not try it just yet. The jeweler's saw looks like this. I don't even know if mine is like strong enough, or the blade that I have. And you would connect it, and you would just like, after you heat it, you would just be able to cut this all the way down, and then you would have all of these cool jump rings. But I'm a little different, a little old school for now. So what I do is I just cut them kind of one by one. without annealing it. And another cool thing about that is that I think it keeps the copper wire stronger for longer. So you're gonna want something to catch these. And you definitely wouldn't want to do it on a rug like mine and get it lost in there. I can do like 3 at a time. Well, actually, I should just do 2 because usually I'm working with a smaller wire. This wire is pretty strong. And then it actually, probably really should use a jeweler saw to make this an easier process. Or even if you just heated this copper up with a torch, you could have an easier time cutting this copper. And when you're sealing, when you're like lining the jump ring up with the other side, I have to add an additional step, which is to use these flush cutters. The flush cutters have one side that's flat and one side that's indented. I have to use the flat side to even out the jump ring. So this one has like a triangle divot on it, but this side over here is flat. That side's flat, but this side's not. So I have to cut the tip off of it to make it flat as well. And then I use my pliers to make it close. And yeah, I'm just like really old-fashioned. Somebody maybe like a long time ago probably did stuff this way because of lack of tools or whatever, but I noticed with a lot of the things that I do creatively, I always learn the basic roots of how to do it, and that kind of sets you up for success, because when you know the roots of what you're doing, like with photography, I learned film first before I learned digital, and learning that medium from the roots of where it started, it made it very easy for me to navigate throughout film and just understand how to get the perfect angles and the correct lighting and stuff, because I developed photos in the dark room and all that cool stuff. Digital just makes it so easy that you don't have to do all that. You can use the Lightroom now. But that was me going off on a tangent. So after I get a good amount of these jump rings cut, then I can start to connect them together. And I probably won't finish on this live just because, like, I'm already, 9 minutes in? And I don't know who's gonna want to watch this whole video. Somebody probably will. But I'm already, 9 minutes in, and I don't want to make it too long. So I'm gonna just show you guys the basics of how to get to this step. I'm gonna do a few little layers, and you'll see the chain beginning to form. And then actually I'm gonna switch over to Instagram and get on live over there. And I don't know what my cat is doing. I just hear a sound. Sounds like he's choking or something. Bambi! Bambi! Sorry, guys. Yeah, so you take It's always a good idea to use two flat nose pliers, even though they have the ridges. Are you okay? You need to stop eating on stuff. What's wrong? Sneezing, I don't know. So you want to close these. This jump ring. And then I use these pliers as if they're my fingers. Because they're so small that they can get into small places very easily. And after you get your jump rings, it gets much easier after that. So I would really recommend investing in a jeweler's saw, because a jeweler's saw will make your life easier. But I don't mind taking the harder road out. So yeah, if anything, it's kind of a cool therapeutic process, even if it takes a little bit to do it. But it's cool with me because I've got some time on my hands today. Oh, and I haven't really said how I'm doing this, but I'm just doing 2 jump rings. And then 2, I just put like 2 together, and then I put 2 through that hole. So I'm adding this second one. I mean, it seems pretty self-explanatory. It's going to be 2 on each side. Whichever way you flip it, it's 2 jump rings. Yeah, and so on. So I am going to probably just do a few more rounds. And just so you can see it begin to build. Into a jump ring. I want to get it'd be cool to get some local artists. Use it as a sponsorship. I could play the music in the background and it wouldn't be copyrighted, and they get exposure for their music at the same time as, I'm getting exposure for my craft. I love working with local artists, local people. And I've never done a chain like this before, so I know it's gonna look pretty cool. I think I'm just gonna make it a chain. I don't know if I'm gonna put a jewel on it, but yeah, it'll look nice, cool, and thick. People are gonna like that. But basically, yeah, that's what the chain looks like. And at the end, if you want something to seal it, you can use a slightly bigger hoop for the connection piece. Take your copper wire, invest in some jump ring pliers like these, because they come in different sizes, and you can adjust what kind of loop or circle you want. And I'm gonna make a bigger one at least. And then you just put it through your chain like that. It's distinctive. It's bigger than the other ones. And then on the other end, you'll have like your clasp to connect it to the other side, which might look something like this. Oh, Bambi thinks this is a game. You know it's not, Bambi. Yeah, once you get your clasp going, you just add that to the other side as well. I mean, ideally, you would put a hoop like this on each side. I'm just trying to keep it moving. I mean, I will actually just make that one too. Bambi, what are you doing? This is not a toy. This would be really strong and sturdy and cool for necklaces and stuff. But, you know, it's not a cheap chain. So, if this was a bracelet for my pinky, I could connect it as such, like that. But it's gonna be a big bracelet. It's just small right now. So we just got ourselves a cool little ring right now. Yep. All right. Peace out, y'all. I'm out.